Today we are going to be discussing the top 3 best campaigns for a new player inside of Total War Warhammer 3. And coming in at number 3 is one of the ones that the game actually recommends, and that is Tyrion of Eotine. This is primarily because of the diplomatic relationships boost, and the fact that he starts out with a pretty good army. You start out in control of Lothern, which has a few open building slots for you to use, as well as a tier 2 settlement. In terms of who is on this massive donut with you, it is primarily High Elves. However, there are some Dark Elves, some greenskins, some vampire pirates, and a bunch of demons over here as well. However, these are weaker factions, and the vast majority of the island is held by High Elves, which you have a diplomatic bonus towards. This makes it very easy to get trade agreements, non-aggression pacts, and just overall a lot of diplomatic bonuses. And then inside a battle, playing as the High Elves isn't exactly rocket science. You'll use your infantry to form a wall, you'll put the archers behind them, you'll use your cavalry to fight off the enemy cavalry. Tyrion is a pretty strong lord, and you do start out with a mage. The most difficult unit to control is the Flamespire Phoenix, because it acts more like a bomber than an actual unit, but that is the only unique unit that you have to worry about. Coming in at the number 2 spot is Gor Rok of Itza. His primary starting bonus is that he starts the campaign with control of Lord Croak, which helps out massively inside of battles. Inside the campaign, you start out with Itza, however you do start out at war with demons, and there are more demons nearby. There are some lizardmen nearby that you might be able to strike up some deals with if you are able to get your relationship high enough, and you have a non-aggression pact with the dwarves, which is really beneficial because the dwarves are not a faction that you want to be at war with in your first campaign. And then inside a battle, the Lizardmen are a very forgiving faction. They have a lot of strong units. You start out with the Bastiladon that can revive fallen warriors, and Lord Croak has the Deliverance of Itza's spells, which is a very powerful spell that when cast will create an explosion inside of the enemy's ranks that will be able to do a whole lot of damage to enemy units without harming any of your own troops. And the all-around best faction for a new player will be Throgrim Grudgebearer of Krak. His diplomatic relationships are plus 20 with dwarves. He also gets some upkeep bonuses, recruitment rank increases, and commandments have more powerful effects. When you start out the campaign, you have Thorm Grudgebearer right next to your capital, and the dwarves have very strong economic buildings, as well as growth buildings, for you to use inside of your campaign. For diplomacy, you do have some allies, and some more dwarves you can make allies out of, plus the border princes, and you start with a non-aggression pact with the Empire in Reichland. This area right above you will primarily be held by the Empire. The mountains are primarily held by dwarves and greenskins, and the greenskins will be your primary enemy. And there are a lot of potential enemies down here as well. However, if you stick inside the mountains, you will be able to avoid the majority of them, as they won't have any good ways of getting to your cities. Now, a couple of complex things about the dwarves is that you have these Age of Reckonings that are based off of grudges that you settle, and units that are based off of the grudges that you settle. All this is decided by the Great Book of Grudges. However, if you wind up not doing any of the missions, it's not going to penalize you that badly. It might slow things down a little bit, but all around, it's not going to be that bad. Inside a battle, the dwarves are a very mixed bag. However, they're a very forgiving mixed bag. They have a mix of technology that ranges from modern-day vehicles and weapons, such as their helicopters, which shoot explosive ammunition, to guys with hammers and crossbows. Late game, you'll get artillery, guns, and a lot of very powerful weapons. However, even in the early stages of the game, the dwarves are a very easy faction to use. They're very slow, they have high armor, they have good health, they're very hard to bring down, which makes them a very forgiving faction. And even if somehow you wind up losing one of your armies, your garrisons that protect your various settlements will be more than capable of holding off a lot of invasions and a lot of enemy troops. So all around, this is a very good faction for figuring out how best to play Total War Warhammer 3. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to smash the like button and subscribe for more content like this. Also, go check out my Discord server as well as my Patreon. Links to both those in the description below. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video and hope you enjoy the rest of your day.